Margaret never felt sick. She wasn't losing weight, didn't feel dizzy, and could still walk her little dog Charlie every morning without much trouble. So when her doctor said, "Your blood sugar is elevated, you have type 2 diabetes," she was stunned. "I thought that only happened to people who ate too much sugar or were seriously overweight," she said. "No one ever told me it could show up like this quietly." And Margaret isn't alone. Millions of older adults are diagnosed with type 2 diabetes after 60, often with few symptoms and little warning. For many, it's picked up during a routine checkup or blood test, a surprise diagnosis that brings more questions than answers. Your doctor may explain the basics. Your blood sugar is too high, your body isn't using insulin properly, and you'll need to make some changes. They might hand you a pamphlet or a list of do's and don'ts, and then off you go. But what they don't always say or have time to say is how much more complex, emotional, and personal this journey becomes after 60. They don't tell you how it affects your routines, your energy, your meals, your sense of control. This guide is for that part of the journey, the part that isn't always written in medical charts, the part where life keeps going and you learn how to move forward with strength and clarity. Because type 2 diabetes may be part of your story now, but it doesn't define the rest of it. In fact, it might just mark the beginning of a wiser, more intentional chapter. Why age changes everything, and what your doctor might forget to mention. Most of us grew up thinking diabetes looked a certain way. Someone younger, maybe heavier, someone who ate too much sugar. So when you're diagnosed after 60, possibly at a healthy weight and with no major symptoms, it can feel confusing, even unfair. But here's something important your doctor may not fully explain. Diabetes in older adults is different in how it develops, how it shows up, and how it should be managed. 100. Your body is changing. As we age, our bodies naturally lose muscle and become more resistant to insulin, even if we eat the same foods and stay active. That means your cells have a harder time using sugar for energy, which leads to higher blood sugar levels. Also, your metabolism slows, your digestion changes, and your body may no longer bounce back the way it once did. What worked for you at 45 might not work anymore, and that's not your fault. 2. Other health conditions complicate the picture. Many people over 60 are also managing high blood pressure, arthritis, heart disease, or memory issues. These conditions can interact with diabetes, be worsened by diabetes, or make diabetes harder to manage. On top of that, you may be taking multiple medications. Some of them, like steroids or blood pressure drugs, can raise your blood sugar without you realizing it. This is where management gets tricky. Doctors sometimes focus on one issue at a time, but you live with all of them at once. 103. The emotional layer is often overlooked. After Sekshanta, life feels different. Maybe you're retired, or caring for a partner. Maybe you've lost friends or feel more isolated than you once did. Diabetes isn't just a physical diagnosis. It affects your confidence, your independence, and your identity. Doctors rarely ask how you feel about your diagnosis. But feelings matter because fear, shame, or frustration can impact whether or not you take your meds, go for a walk, or cook a healthy meal. Ayurveda. Treatment goals should reflect your life, not just the numbers. You may hear terms like A1C, glucose targets, and tight control. But as you get older, avoiding low blood sugar, preventing falls, and staying independent may be more important than reaching textbook perfect numbers. The right plan for you should focus on stability over strictness, simplicity over perfection, feeling good, not just looking good on paper. You're not a lab result, you're a whole person. And while diabetes brings challenges, it also brings opportunities to know your body better, to make choices more intentionally, and to live with clarity and care. In the next section, we'll look at the subtle signs of diabetes that are often mistaken for just getting older, and why noticing them early can make all the difference. When just getting older is something more. When you're over 60, it's easy to brush off certain physical changes as simply part of aging. You feel more tired than usual, maybe you didn't sleep well. You're thirsty all the time, maybe it's just dry air. You're getting up to use the bathroom more often, maybe it's just your bladder slowing down. But here's the truth. Many symptoms of type 2 diabetes look just like normal aging until they're not. And by the time they feel serious enough to mention, damage may already be underway. That's why it's so important to pay attention to subtle changes, especially when they seem new, unusual, or persistent. Here 1. Fatigue that doesn't go away. Everyone feels tired from time to time. But if your energy is constantly low, even after a good night's sleep, it could mean your cells aren't getting the fuel, glucose. They need a common effect of insulin resistance. 2. Blurry, or changing vision. Older adults often assume their glasses just need updating. But when blood sugar is high, it can cause swelling in the lenses of your eyes, leading to temporary blurry vision that comes and goes. Over time, uncontrolled diabetes can lead to serious eye conditions like retinopathy. Red 4. 3. Frequent urination and increased thirst. Needing to urinate often, especially at night, is one of the earliest and most common signs of high blood sugar. The kidneys work overtime to flush out the excess, which also leaves you feeling dehydrated and thirsty all the time, even if you're drinking water. 2-4. Unexplained weight loss. If you're losing weight without trying especially muscle, it could be your body breaking down fat and muscle for energy because it can't access glucose properly. While some might see this as a good thing, sudden or unintentional weight loss in older adults is a red flag. Baida, benda. Tingling, numbness, or burning in your feet or hands. This could be a sign of diabetic neuropathy, nerve damage caused by high blood sugar. Many seniors describe it as a buzzing or pins and needles feeling. Left unchecked, it can lead to serious foot problems or balance issues. Aches, slow healing wounds, especially on the feet. Have you noticed a small cut or blister that just won't heal? High blood sugar can impair circulation and the body's natural repair systems, especially in your lower legs and feet. Changes in mood or mental sharpness. Blood sugar fluctuations can affect brain function, leading to irritability, anxiety, forgetfulness, or even mild depression. If you don't feel quite like yourself mentally or emotionally, don't ignore it. You know your body better than anyone. And while it's tempting to dismiss these changes as just age, it's far better to check than to guess. A simple blood test can bring peace of mind or give you the chance to take action early. In the next section, we'll talk about food and what most doctors don't explain about how to eat well and joyfully with type 2 diabetes after 60. You don't need a perfect diet. You need a realistic one. When Margaret was told to eat healthy for her diabetes, she left the clinic with more confusion than clarity. "What does that even mean?" she asked. "No sugar, no bread, no potatoes? That's half of what I eat." Many older adults get the same vague advice from their doctors. Cut the carbs. Watch your sugar. Eat more fiber. But those words often lack real-world context, especially for seniors who have cooked the same way for decades, live alone, or face mobility and income limitations. Let's take a more compassionate and practical look at what eating well with type 2 diabetes really means after 60. 1. Start with what you already eat, and gently adjust. You don't need to throw out your whole pantry or stop eating the foods you love. Instead, keep what works. Meals with vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains. Replace what doesn't. White rice with brown rice or quinoa. Fruit juice with water and lemon. Watch portion sizes. Half a baked sweet potato is better than a large serving of mashed potatoes. You don't have to eat perfectly. You just have to eat intentionally. Kayadum. Focus on balance, not restriction. Each meal should ideally include a complex carbohydrate, beans, lentils, oats, or sweet potatoes, a protein, eggs, fish, chicken, tofu, or Greek yogurt, a healthy fat, avocado, olive oil, or nuts, fiber-rich vegetables like spinach, broccoli, or zucchini. This balance slows digestion, supports stable blood sugar, and keeps you full longer, which helps prevent energy crashes or sugar cravings. 3. Watch out for hidden sugars. You may not eat candy or cake often, but sugar hides in many processed foods, even those labeled low-fat or healthy. Be mindful of flavored yogurt, bottled salad dressings, granola bars, white bread and pasta, canned soups and sauces. Always check the label. Look for added sugars, under 5 g per serving. Ingredients ending in hosa, glucosa, fructosa, sucrosa, idacharo. Budget-friendly swaps for everyday meals. Eating for diabetes doesn't have to be expensive or fancy. Here are simple, affordable swaps. Instead of, try white rice, brown rice, or barley. White bread, whole grain or sprouted. Sugary cereal oatmeal with cinnamon. Fruit juice, infused water, lemon, mint. Fried meats, baked or grilled options. Kaiba, penda. Sample one-day meal plan for seniors with diabetes. Breakfast, 1 boiled egg, 1/2 cup oatmeal with a few berries and a sprinkle of cinnamon. Black coffee or herbal tea. Lunch, tuna or chicken salad on a bed of greens with olive oil dressing. 1 slice, whole grain toast. A handful of cherry tomatoes. Dinner, baked salmon or tofu, steamed broccoli or roasted carrots. 1/2 cup of brown rice. Chamomile tea. Snack, if needed, a small handful of almonds, or half an avocado with sea salt. This kind of meal plan is simple, satisfying, and sustainable. Common challenges and kind solutions. I don't have the energy to cook every day. Batch cook once or twice a week. Use slow cookers or frozen pre-cut vegetables. I live alone. Meals feel lonely. Try eating while calling a friend, watching a show you love, or playing gentle music. Healthy food is expensive. Beans, oats, frozen vegetables, and eggs are all budget-friendly staples that support blood sugar health. Food should nourish you, not stress you. Don't aim for a perfect diet. Aim for one that feels possible, enjoyable, and respects your stage of life. In the next section, we'll explore the world of medications and what side effects or interactions your doctor may not fully explain. Because every pill affects more than your blood sugar. When you're over 60, taking medication isn't unusual. Many older adults are juggling prescriptions for blood pressure, cholesterol, arthritis, and now diabetes. But here's something doctors don't always emphasize. Your body processes medications differently now than it did at 40. That means side effects are more common. Drug interactions are more likely. And the way one medication affects another, or even your energy, appetite, or thinking, deserves close attention. Let's walk through what your doctor might not mention and what you can do to stay safe and supported. 100 diabetes. Drugs can act differently in older bodies. Some of the most common medications for type 2 diabetes include metformin, usually the first prescribed, helps lower blood sugar by reducing glucose production in the liver. Sulfonylureas, stimulate the pancreas to make more insulin. DPP-4 inhibitors, SALT2 inhibitors, or GLP-1 receptor agonists, newer classes that work in various ways to support glucose control. But as we age, the kidneys and liver, which process most medications, slow down. That means drugs can build up in the body, increasing the risk of nausea or upset stomach, low blood sugar, especially with sulfonylureas, dizziness or lightheadedness, diarrhea or dehydración, confusion or mood changes. Doyado, you may be more sensitive to side effects. Even at normal doses, older adults may experience fatigue or foggy thinking, loss of appetite, which can disrupt your eating routine and spike or drop sugar unexpectedly, muscle weakness or balance issues, especially when multiple medications are involved. It's not just the diabetes drug, it's how it interacts with your whole medication routine. 3. Low blood sugar, hypoglycemia, is especially dangerous after 60. Low blood sugar can sneak up quickly and feel like sweating, shaking, confusion, sudden weakness or dizziness. In older adults, these episodes can lead to falls, injury, or even hospitalization. Certain medications, especially sulfonylureas and insulin, carry higher risk. That's why blood sugar targets for seniors are often a little higher, to avoid dangerous drops. Always have a small snack on hand like a piece of fruit, a few crackers, or glucose tablets just in case. Or 4. What you can do, and your doctor might not say clearly, keep a medication log. Write down when you take your meds, how you feel afterward, and any side effects, even subtle ones. Bring it to your appointments. Ask about interactions. If your doctor adds a new medication, ask, will this interact with my diabetes drugs? Should I change anything about my meals or routines? Know your body and trust it. If something doesn't feel right, say so. You don't need to wait for a serious side effect to speak up. Don't make changes on your own. Never stop or adjust medications without medical guidance, but don't hesitate to advocate for yourself. Your doctor may not live with your symptoms, but you do. Medication can be life-saving, but it's not one size fits all. The goal is not just to control your numbers, but to help you feel good, stay steady, and live well. In the next section, we'll explore a topic doctors often skip entirely: how diabetes affects your emotions and how your emotional health can affect your diabetes. Because managing diabetes is about more than food, medicine, and numbers. When you think about diabetes, you probably think about blood sugar, medication, meal plans, or exercise. But rarely, if ever, do we talk about how it feels to live with this condition every single day, especially after 60. And yet, the emotional weight of diabetes is real. It shows up in the quiet moments when you're too tired to cook, too overwhelmed to take your medication, or too discouraged to go for that walk. It can feel like you've lost control of your body, your habits, and your freedom. 211. The burden of doing it all. Many seniors feel an unspoken pressure to manage their diabetes perfectly, to follow every instruction, hit every number, never miss a dose. When they fall short, they may feel guilt, shame, or fear. But here's the truth: you're human. Some days will go smoothly, others will not. And that's okay. You are allowed to be kind to yourself while still doing your best. Loneliness and isolation make it harder. After 60, many people face life changes that increase isolation. Retirement, losing a spouse, living alone, moving to a new area, or seeing friends less often. Without emotional support, managing a chronic illness becomes twice as hard. Studies show that seniors who feel lonely are more likely to experience higher blood sugar, depression, or anxiety, poorer medication adherence, decreased motivation to care for themselves. Rectory. Stress directly affects your blood sugar. When you're stressed even mildly, your body releases cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones raise your blood sugar as part of your natural fight or flight response. Over time, chronic stress can make your diabetes harder to control, no matter how well you eat or move. Aida Chadra. You are not alone, and you don't have to carry this alone. Here are a few ways to gently support your emotional well-being. Talk to someone, a trusted friend, a family member, or a support group. Journal your thoughts, frustrations, or victories, even small ones. Join a senior diabetes group in person or online where others get it. Pray, meditate, or reflect quietly. Even 5 minutes can center your mind. Celebrate little wins, not just the numbers, but showing up for yourself each day. You are more than your diagnosis. Your life still holds laughter, connection, and deep meaning. Managing diabetes is not just about surviving, it's about living with presence, purpose, and compassion for yourself. In the final section, we'll bring it all together and reflect on how this diagnosis, while challenging, can lead to a more intentional, empowered chapter of life. You may have diabetes, but diabetes doesn't have you. By now, you've learned something your doctor may not have had time to explain. Managing type 2 diabetes after 60 isn't just about diet, medications, or numbers. It's about you, your daily choices, your energy, your emotions, your story. Yes, the diagnosis can feel heavy at first. It can make you question your routines, your independence, and your future. But here's something powerful to remember. You are still in control. Not of everything, but of enough. You can control what you eat for your next meal, how you move your body, even gently, how you respond to stress or setbacks, when you ask for help and from whom, how kindly you speak to yourself along the way. Living fully means living intentionally. After 60, every day becomes more precious. Not because time is running out, but because time has taught you what truly matters. Diabetes can become a daily reminder to move slowly, to eat with care, to notice how you feel, to stay connected to people and purpose. It can actually bring you closer to your body, your wisdom, and your strength. The final word is yours. Your story didn't stop the day you were diagnosed. In fact, it simply turned a page. And this next chapter? It can be one of resilience, joy, clarity, and peace. So whether you're managing your first month with diabetes or your 10th year, take a deep breath, lift your chin, and keep going. Because you are not your condition. You are your courage, your compassion, and your daily choice to live well, one step, one bite, one beautiful moment at a time.